94Rocks, Jay-Z hanging out here on Zoom. And on the Zoom call, I have MOTHICA. And MOTHICA, first of all, thanks so much for joining me. First time you and I have had a chance to meet. So I always like to ask artists when it's the first time, talk about, I guess, the history of really what got you to this point today as being a music artist. What inspired you? Why did you decide that you wanted to be a musician or, for that matter, a musical artist?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of I grew up in Oklahoma and I was always kind of the weird kid there where, in middle school I got really into like emo music and hardcore and metal shows because that's what you do, like go hang out and like usually they'd play in like a pizza parlor or something. Um and I just started wanting to write my own songs, but really music started out for me as like a diary, and it was just like I would write this, like, all these complex feelings you have when you're 13 years old or whatever, and make music for it. But I would post stuff on like YouTube, or I would cover my favorite songs, like I love like Paramore, even like Elliott Smith or Bright Eyes. And I never thought growing up that I could be a musician, because to me it was like you have to be in a band, and I was too shy for that. So it wasn't until I went to college that I was like, oh, like I could maybe do this. And people were telling me, like, go record a song. And it just kind of like it kind of like feel like I fell into it in a weird way, because I wasn't one of those kids that like dreamed of like, I'm going to sell out, the biggest venue in the world. To me, it was like, this is just my little secret thing I share on the internet. And then I slowly started sharing more and more. But yeah, it just started out as like a secret diary.
So let's talk about the internet. And obviously, I think doing some reading, that's kind of really where you started pushing your music and kind of where you got your notoriety. And that's back in the day, a little older than you, I'm guessing. But back in the day, there was different ways of how we didn't have the internet and stuff. So you had to get it out there. Now you have the internet, so people can do anything at any time. What was that experience like to get that out on the internet and then start seeing the results of what you had got out there?
Well, it was, I mean, even when I started posting music, there wasn't like TikTok or anything. It was like on YouTube, or SoundCloud used
Right.
to be more of like a social app. Um, but it's really funny because I think I was just so naive to everything, where like I put out this song by myself, I made the artwork for it. Somehow it landed on some big Spotify playlist in like maybe 2015, 2016. And I got an email from a record label, and I didn't know how things worked. So to me, I was like, oh my God, I've made it. I'm going to get signed. I should drop out of college right now. Like, this is it. It was just an email saying, like, love your song. Let's talk. And that was like the turning point of me, because I was going to school for programming and I was doing like computer stuff. So my parents were a little disappointed when I was like, I'm gonna do music because I got an email.
What,
But
so doing the
I kept,
programming though, that's huge though, because you learned how to do this and kind of really self-start yourself.
yeah, I'm so glad I have all these other interests too, because I also love visual art. I learned computer programming was not for me, but I got to learn like video editing software. And, when you are independently a musician, like
Right.
you have to wear all those hats. So, I'm making merch, I'm editing videos, and luckily I have all those skills now.
That's awesome. We're talking to Mathika, and the reason we're talking to her is we just started spinning your brand new song, Evergreen Misery. And I want to get to that in just a moment, but I'll kind of go back a little bit. And you mentioned, obviously, growing up, what were some of the influences, I guess, for you to kind of go this direction of music? And, also, have you, I noticed you've kind of just looking at some of your stuff. It's not necessarily pigeonholed into one genre. You like to use multiple genres of music.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love pop music. I love catchy songs. I love like I follow songwriters. Like songwriters are like celebrities to me of like, Max Martin and like that. But
Hmm.
then also like the music that really made me was like when I was in middle school and I went to this school where I kind of didn't fit in with everyone. Yeah, they were all wearing like Uggs and designer things, and I was more into like collecting bugs and stones. And for some reason that led to me listening to going to Warp Tour and going listening to like heavier rock and metal. And I love My Chemical Romance and you know Haley Williams of Paramore. And so it's just been every release, it's like an amalgamation of all these interests. And I've always just like, I don't know, bounced around with all that. But now this new batch of music, I was like, okay, I'm gonna full send it into my original like influences. And because that's what I love to play live is like the energy of a rock guitar. Can't beat that.
Very cool. You mentioned live. Let's talk about that a little bit. And you obviously, what is the show like when people go and see Mothica?
Ooh, it's I think it's very different
Okay.
because, all the versions we play are, arranged for live. There's different intros, outros, and I do talk quite a bit
Hmm.
in my sets, and so I try to like make it like 25% comedy and just do little bits. I mean, there was this inside joke I started where I was covering All Stars Smash Mouth,
Yep.
and then I continued doing that. And now I've played, All Star by Smash Mouth in like 20 countries or something. So I always try to make it fun. And then also just like, there's a lot of really serious lyrics and serious moments in the set. But yeah, you get everything at the Mothka show.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's talk about the new song here that at least we're spinning here. And I noticed you had an album out back in 2024. So this is not off that album. This is something brand new, correct? The new song that
Yeah.
we're talking about in Evergreen Misery. Talk about, I guess, the makeup of the song, your direction of it, how that all came about. And of course, we're spinning it here on 94 Rocks. So there's a reason why we are because we like it. So give us some of the details
Yay.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting first single for me because it's like it's kind of a journey of a song. It's really slow, and we kind of played with some like this major minor thing in the pre-chorus where it's like eerie. But I was listening to artists like Bad Omens and Sleep Token who just like have this you know I don't know sprawling song. Um, it's really tricky to produce. We did a bunch of versions of it. And yeah, and just the lyrics are just kind of this like playful way of like in my history I've had people kind of copy me or take from my ideas, but all those ideas come from this really dark place. So it's kind of like you're copying my like misery, but luckily for you I have an endless pit to pull from. Yeah.
Well, that's true. I mean, and that's a lot of times artists, bands that they write about their actual life. And unfortunately, we all have our issues in times. And I'm assuming some of the stuff that you've written are some from your past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's, those are things that inspire and actually inspire other people too, because if you're in a certain place and you never know what might get you out of that place, right?
Totally. Yeah. And it's been really affirming, like with my music, because a lot of these songs, like I said, I started out like this is a diary. I'm writing about the heaviest topics. I'm writing about like, depression, addiction, anxiety, assault, like religious trauma or whatever these things. I'm like, ooh, this is a little too much for me to share. And then those end up being the ones that connect to the most people. And I'm like, on one hand, it's like so affirming to me that my experience is valid. And the other reason it's like makes me sad because then
Right.
there's so many people who maybe don't talk about this out loud.
How difficult was that, I guess? And I don't know all the background of things that have happened in your past, but how difficult is that to, I mean, it's maybe easy to, as you mentioned, when you're having a song, you can just let it out. but how long did it take you to realize that, oh yeah, I can be safe to do this and let people know what's happened in my life?
I think it took a long time because even a lot of the experiences I write about, when I was, maybe 14 or 15, it took me 10 years to write a song about it. And then by that point, I had been to therapy and everything, and I can sing a song and not feel like I'm going to cry every time I sing it. But I think the coolest thing is sometimes, like, I do this like kind of empowering speech about, like, depression and overcoming, like, suicidal thoughts. And I'll have like parents come up to me, and I've like
Right.
had grown men cry in my arms and be like, I hope my daughter would listen to you. And like, oh my God, like that's the thing I love, is like a parent being like, you should check out Mothica.
Well, and then that's just it, and everybody's gravitated to music for some reason, but especially it seems like in your live performance that you mentioned that you do have conversations in that. So you're talking to that audience not only with the music that you have, but also your story of your past, and that's probably inspiring to a lot of people and makes people look go, well, maybe I don't have it as bad, or oh, maybe I need to get some help. And that's one thing sometimes I think in our industry, in the rock industry, that we do talk about the suicides, we talk about depression, we talk about many different things that go on, but then it gets talked about, but there's no action after it. And that's sometimes where I think there is some movement of some artists, but is that something that you're maybe wanting to, with your music, a little bit inspired to try to not only just be a voice, but also to be somebody that says, hey, this is the direction we need to take?
I try a little bit. It's hard because it's like, obviously I'm someone that struggles too.
Right.
And so all I can do is write from my experience. But there is, yeah, that little bit of that pressure to like almost be on the other side of it and be like, I've overcome everything. I'm great now. And obviously that's not the case most of the time.
Right.
Uh, but I don't know. So the thing that I think is the most valuable to me is I'll try to do a free meet and greet whenever I can. If I'll go meet any fans, I'll stay till the end of the venue kicks us out, and I will talk to every single person. And that's where I can one on one maybe try to like answer any questions. But it's hard when someone's like, how do I feel better forever? It's like,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that at least music can give you an outlet and a voice for a little bit. And the biggest thing to me, and that I've always needed, is that community and that connection. And that's what's really exciting about, live music.
Very cool. We're talking to Mothika. Let's talk about 2026. I'm assuming there's a lot of cool things coming up for you. First of all, are you a person that likes to make a New Year's resolution? And if you did you already break it, because it was Quitters Friday last week? So where are we at on that?
Yes, my resolution was to quit nicotine. I went 23 hours.
Okay, okay. So,
Yeah. So another resolution for me was to like start cooking for myself, because I am like, I live on like protein bars and frozen meals. And so my baby step is like, okay, I'm making a rice bowl. It is like microwavable rice, but it's like, yeah, there was a cucumber in there.
I
There's a
was just gonna say
vegetable.
there was one piece of vegetable in there. Yeah.
So that one I'm doing great on, but
Okay. Okay. So how about on the music side for 2026 for Mothika? What are the plans this year coming up? Obviously, album, new music, tour. There's lots of things, merchandise. So what do we have coming up?
I have the EP coming out, which is 5 songs,
Okay.
um, next month. And then I go immediately on this like 5 week tour with Icy Stars that is like back to back to back. There's like no off days. So that'll
Oh,
be real to the ground, nose to the ground, all full US tour. Super excited about it.
very cool.
And then I'm gonna put out an album, because I basically pitched this idea to my managers. I was like, "What if I did a double album?" And they're like, "What if you didn't do that?" And I was like, "Okay." So it's kind of like an EP and then the album.
Okay.
It's like double EP. I was like, just cut all my songs in half.
So do we have names for the EPs coming out in 2026?
Yeah, the EP is called Somewhere in Between.
Okay, very
Yes.
cool. Any meaning behind that?
There's a song called that.
Okay.
And yeah, and the lyrics of that are like a daydream and a guillotine. I live somewhere in between. And so it's kind of like about my personality type who's very all or nothing and everything feels like the end of the world one day. And it's like kind of trying to live in that gray area.
And
And
then,
because, yeah, an EP before the album, it's
yeah,
somewhere in between, you know?
somewhere in between. Okay. And then, are you hoping by the end of the year to have then an album too? Then is that the game plan? Or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
How about it? Do we have a name of the album yet? Are we still in the works on that?
Not yet. I do have one, but I'm still workshopping it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're holding on to that right now. You're not going
Yeah.
to let us know for now. So we'll have to reach out to you down the road to see what that album is. So
Mhm.
let's talk about the song a little bit more. And obviously, Evergreen Misery, we're spinning it here at 94 Rocks. What are you hearing about the song? And it's just been out not too long ago. And what are people saying about it? Also, is it getting some spins on other stations, or obviously it's on the different social media platforms?
Oh yeah. I've seen like it's funny, I don't read a lot of the comments, but it's been really awesome that this song that I felt like was so, yeah, sprawling and slow has like done well. I saw some YouTube reactions from like a Polish channel. I don't know what they said, but I think they liked it. So that's good. What else? A lot of cool fan art, fan posters. Yeah, I've been playing it live for the first time.
Okay.
I had to pitch the song down half a step to sing it live, which was like, ooh, that's normally what artists do when they get older. I'm like, I'm already like, ooh, let's pitch it down.
Right, right. You
But yeah,
mentioned the live thing, and obviously you're going to go out on tour in a little bit. Are any festivals or anything in your future at all? Anything that you have lined up here in 2026 that you're allowed to tell us yet?
uh, unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I don't have any festivals. I played so many a few years ago, like Aftershock, Louder Than Life, all those. And so I kind of like, hey guys, remember me? Remember my meet and greet line? It was big.
Yeah.
Let's bring me back. So hopefully I can get some more lined up.
So let me ask you this question: Where do you want to see yourself in the next maybe 2, 3 years? I guess with Mothica and that. I mean, what is the next step where you would like to be? What are you striving for? I guess. I mean, everybody has a different kind of a goal. What is your goal?
It's funny, I just talked about this because, like, New Year's resolutions
Yep.
and a lot of my planning used to be about these big accolade moments of like getting this thing or being on this playlist or billboards or whatever. And now my goals are so abstract and wholesome where it's like, I want to just be surrounded by people I enjoy working with. Like,
Mhm.
I want to make songs that I'm like, yes, that vision came to life. The visuals match. Like, so it's kind of tricky that that's my view of success now. Like, how do you put that in a vision board? But it's just enjoying the everyday process of being a musician. That's like the ultimate luxury to me.
Well, it's true. I mean, back in the day when you're maybe a little younger, everybody dreams and then they start to get into the actual reality of it and they go, okay, well, you can still dream. You have to have the dream because that's the drive, obviously. But sometimes you have to take a step back and go, all right, there's ways to get there, not just that one snap of the finger and there you are.
Totally. I think, yeah, it's just like any material goals would be like maybe more like features or collaborations with artists that show me that them like, oh, they think I'm cool. you
I
know
was just going to ask that for collaborations, other artists, who would you like to get involved in, maybe even on touring with? So I guess you led right into my next question. Who are some of
Okay,
those?
awesome. Oh, I love Bad Omens. I just
Yeah.
love everything they do. Dayseeker is also
Oh,
really awesome. And I did a tour with Hailstorm and I just loved Lizzie Hale so much. I don't know. I'm like bringing me back on tour. Anything. It was they're a joy. But
Let's
there's so
ask,
many.
how much of an inspiration is Lizzie to you on that? Because obviously she's really done an amazing job with her career and inspired so many artists.
So, I mean, just so much. I mean, like she is, you know, I've quite a bit older than me, maybe 10 or 12 years, but even just being on tour, it's like she has this amazing energy, this like light about her, like everything rolls off her shoulder, nothing's a big deal. She's accomplished so much, and I just looked at her as like this older sister where it's like what's she wearing? I want to go buy those shoes. I want to go buy that jacket, you know? And so I don't think she like knows how much like I was just like so excited to be around her. Yeah.
That's awesome. Couple more questions here before we got to go. I got to ask, so maybe this is some of the memorable moments. What is one of the most memorable moments in your career so far?
Ooh. Um, that's a hmm.
It's one of those scratchers, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, playing these festivals and I don't know, like looking out and having people singing my songs. That's a big deal to any musician is like people know your lyrics. You're like begging for them to know your lyrics. But even past that, I love getting tattoos. I always wanted someone to get a MOTHICA tattoo. And now I've seen like probably 100, including my face tattooed on someone.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, hope you really like that album forever. But
So you like tattoos then? How many tattoos do you have, or have you lost count?
I've definitely lost count because everything's like really big pieces, but I only have a few empty spots and obviously like my neck, but I'm gonna really wait on that per my parents' request.
Okay, I got you. Well, I have three daughters, and they're all in their 20s. So yeah, I would probably say, I mean, it's your life, but I'd be like, Dad would appreciate it maybe
No.
if you didn't have one.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I'm definitely never gonna have a traditional career. It's more for me, it's like,
Right.
oof, that's a very visible spot every day in the mirror. You don't want to mess that up. So
That's something I've never really asked an artist because a musical artist is always thinking future. Well, I'm going to be doing this forever. But is there something that you would ever want to fall back on or do something if you decided, I'm tired of the music anymore?
yeah, honestly, it's funny. I think a lot of my musician friends are like, this is my only thing. And
Right.
if this doesn't work out, I don't know what I'm going to do because I have so many interests. Like I would love to write a book, and get more
Hmm.
into, I love the music video production of like planning that world building. So like even like creative directing for other people or even turning some of my concepts of music videos into like a show or something. So definitely entertainment industry and still kind of has my story in it, but I don't think I want to be, touring and on stage when I'm like 50, or
Or you can just
so
be a
there's so
radio
many.
DJ when you're in your 50s, right? That's all. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, I got to work on my radio voice.
One last question I always like to ask every artist or band is what is something about you that you think everyone should know, but they don't?
Oh, it's hard because I'm so open online. Um, hmm, that they should know about me.
But they don't.
That they don't know. Gosh, I'm just such an open book, but I think it's like it's maybe not hammered in enough like how much I am a nerd about all the behind the scenes stuff and like
Okay.
how much I have a hand in everything. It's just like every music video, I'm hauling gear, I'm designing things, I'm cutting things out, I'm in it, like that is also a part of it. It's not like I just show up and like everything's done, I've never had that. Oh no, I love the details of everything. So I don't know.
You're
That's
definitely
not a,
hands on.
yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Mothika, I've had a lot of fun to getting to know you a little bit more, and I'm excited about the new EP coming out. Do we have a date on that for sure?
Yes, we do. Let me check my calendar.
Yeah, that's fine. While you're doing that, of course, you've also got the tour coming up, and then you've got an album coming up at the end of the year. And we're going to be spinning your song Evergreen Misery here a lot on 94 Rocks. And of course, it's also on our Rock in the Dark new music poll this week, so people can vote for that as well. So it's very cool on that. And yes, that date is going to be coming up for that new EP.
Yes. Well, I can't confirm the EP date, but
Okay.
you have the second single coming out
Ah,
on the 22nd. So literally a week from today.
okay. Do we have a
Yeah.
name for the signal?
Yeah.
Single.
Save your roses.
Save Your Roses. What's the history of that one?
It's actually the lyrics were inspired by something a fan said to me at a show, which was like she wanted to say, "Hey, I think people give people their flowers after they die. I wanted to give you your flowers now." And so the lyric was kind of like, "Don't save your roses for my grave." But it's a really energetic like rock song and I don't know the lyrics, it's also it's kind of disguised, it kind of sounds a little sexy in the
Oh,
lyrics,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not about a person. It's about um my dance with like addiction and I don't know. Um I like to subvert the lyrics with like weirder production, so
Very,
that's coming out
very
next
cool.
week.
Well, we'll be looking forward to that. If more people want information about Mathaga, how can they get all that?
Oh yeah, on my Instagram at Mothica, my website, mothica.com. Um, Probably just Instagram. I post all the time.
Thanks so much for joining me, Mathika. And once again, I'm excited to hear the new EP when that drops, and of course, the new song coming up too. And best of luck in 2026.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
Once,
having me.
once again, that is Mathika. And of course, her new song right now we are spinning on 94 Rocks is Evergreen Misery. I'm Jay Z on 94 Rocks.